Hello there and welcome to today's ride. The weather looks like it wants to play ball today, so I'm out to make the most of it. All day yesterday and most of this morning it was chucking it down with rain, but at the moment we seem to have a bit of a gap in the weather. I don't think it's going to rain again, but that's famous last words. I could easily see myself getting soaked through to the skin today. My driveway is always very deceptive. When I get the bike ready, it feels like it's going to be a lot warmer than it actually is, and that was exactly the case today. Based on how it felt on the driveway, I thought about coming out today with only 2 layers on, but as I'm riding now I can feel that I've certainly made the right decision with 3 layers. I'm also trying to be a bit braver today by riding my 30-kilometre Buns Benton Hoe route as opposed to my shorter kind of 15-20 kilometre routes that I've been doing recently since I've recovered from COVID. My newfound confidence is thanks to a ride I did a couple of days ago where I was invited over to Goodwood to take part in the press event for the Eroica Britannia ride. Now on that particular day I was riding a vintage bike that was 46 years old and the ride itself was 50 kilometres. Now that was the longest ride of the year for me, and that was challenging enough, but the thing that made it extra difficult was the gearing on the vintage bike. It was certainly not a compact and it made the climbs very, very challenging, and I thought, well, if I can do that okay, I can come out and do the Buns Benton Hoe without any problems. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you'll know that this Buns Benton Hoe route is one of my favourites. And one of the reasons why I like it is because it's got a couple of fairly testing little climbs on here. I'm about halfway up the first one now. But so far, I seem to be doing okay. Mind you, makes a massive difference riding a modern bike with modern gearing. It also doesn't hurt to have a massive tailwind pushing me up here. It really is like having a hand actually pushing me. A few years ago, when I was cycling on this route, I saw a chap walking towards me and I thought, rightly or wrongly, he looked a bit rough, so I'd better give him a bit of a wide berth. As you can see, the road is quite narrow, so wide berth is a fairly loose term, but as I went past him, we made eye contact and said hello, and I realised that it was actually a rather famous actor. I'm not going to name him, but he's usually well known for his more suave and debonair roles, and there he was looking rather rough and ready when I saw him. That's the first climb done, and I just took it nice and easy, and yeah, no problems. And now starts the second climb of the day, out from Hambledon village up to the Bat and Ball. Let's hope I've got that same tailwind pushing me up. Climb done, and although I did have the wind behind me, it was a little bit harder, but then that climb's a bit longer and a bit steeper, so all things considered, not too bad. The other thing that's making life easier today is that I've swapped over to my Cannondale. With spring in the air, it's time that I kind of stop using the winter bike, which up until now has been my Pinnacle gravel bike, and yes, start riding the Cannondale. The Pinnacle's considerably heavier than this bike, so swapping over to this bike just feels like I'm riding a magic carpet at the moment. There we go, that's 30 kilometers in the bank of fitness. Thankfully the rain pixies were kind, but the wind demons were both kind and a bit evil towards the end there. If you'd like to see how I actually got on riding that vintage bike, very much like the one that we all used to ride back in the day when we started cycling, click on the video coming up just here. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.